Hey guys, it's Deanna from Gardens Glory, Zone 6A, Central Illinois. And today the video is going to be about what can we all look forward to next season. So I actually wrote it down because, as some of you know, I seem to have a little bit of a short-term memory issue. So I wrote everything down so I don't forget. So if you hear the paper rustling, that's what that is. I wanted to start with this shot because starting on Tuesday, we are getting our first full frost. So all of this soon is going to be gone, and I'm very sad because this is the first year I've really kept on watering so late in the season, and I'm just enjoying it so much. So it's going to be sad to see it go, but that brings about time to, recharge for next season. And with all these projects that I want to do, I probably need a good recharge. So we're going to start right here. And one thing I just want to tell you guys is that next season, I really plan to do a better job of keeping tags and probably labeling things so that I will be better at being able to share what plant material I'm adding, what plant material I have. It's always kind of been a dream of mine to have everything in the garden marked, but that's a huge undertaking. And so anyway, that's one thing. I really want to make sure that I do a better job next year of keeping track of tags so that I can give you guys more accurate names of the plants. Okay, so we're gonna walk this way. Got Pistol over the garden gate. And the first thing I want to show you is this area right here. Okay, so this is not my house, this is my neighbor's house. And I have put annuals in there before. The kids enjoy having some flowers there. And I put some annuals with their permission in that spot. Well, what I also did, without telling them because I knew they wouldn't care, I put in an extra hydrangea, a Annabelle, that I thought I could just see that getting really pretty right there in that corner. It would be no maintenance for them. So that is what we're going to work on next year. I talked to my neighbor again and she said, do whatever you want. So that's what we shall do. And I even put bricks around that little area. You probably can't see that. But in every year we weed it and mulch it out, and and it just kind of goes back to being like this. So this year or next year, I think we'll also, if she wants me to, I don't do it without asking. I might do, instead of the brick, do the rocks to make it all kind of match. Speaking of that, I will also be making sure I finish up the rocks next year. So that will go around this bed, and I have just a bunch of different beds that just only need a few more left to finish it off. Okay, so the next thing I'm super excited about for next year is, you see that wooden arbor in the back. I found one that is just a little wider that's going to go on either side of the gate. And I can just picture, in fact, I'm kind of copying my friend Holly. And some of you said this girl should be a garden landscaper, or not landscaper, designer, and I completely agree. She's amazing. If you haven't seen her video, go to that video. I think it says the most glorious. You know what? I'll try to link it. I've never done that before, but I'll try to do that for you. Okay, so anyway, I want to put that arbor on the outside of this gate, and then instead of having these two little beds that are right here, I will have like two evergreens on either side, the way she did hers, and I just thought that was amazing. Come to think about it, it would almost be kind of cool because that would give me less space right here for plants in the ground. It might be kind of cool just to see if they would want me just to kind of carry on my bed to their bed and just do that up. I don't know, I could ask. All right, and trust me, she does not care. She said, do whatever you want. All right, now the next thing is we gotta figure out what to do with these bricks, okay? I kind of have a thought. I don't know if it's something that I want to put the time into or not. But if you guys have any great suggestion for these bricks, let me know. I know I could always sell them or give them away or whatever, but I don't know. I just hate giving up bricks. Bricks are so awesome. So let's see. Now we're gonna do our view over the garden gate, and there's Pistol. Hi, cutie pie. Hi, buddy. Are you my little garden buddy? Yes, you're a good boy. All right, so here's the view. So I normally like to have my stepson mow and weed whack before I do this, because it just makes everything look so nice. And he does a great job. But he just hasn't been here yet, and I wanted to get this done. But can you believe that all this is going to be gone? So that's one thing I really want to do, is I really want to start working on my evergreen game, because, you know, I'm finding out by putting in that arborvitae right there, I'm finding out just how much I love having that kind of tall structure in the garden. But then also, you know, just to have something in the winter. This garden is nothing in the winter. I'll do a video in the winter and you'll be like, oh my. So anyway, that is going to be part of what I want to be doing. So now this, look at this, you guys. This is the state of my last lilac. Everybody else has already come out. And you know, at first I was so sad because I had the structure on these lilacs were so nice the way I had been limbing them up. But you know what? The more and more I see like hydrangeas in other people's videos and around town, the more I'm like, you know what? Hydrangeas start blooming, you know, fairly early in the season, and then they last all the way through. And this only gives you like 2 weeks of blooms. And so I've come to realize that I'm very happy that this happened and that I'm making this change. All right, let's see what's next. Now, let's go on in. Watch out, buddy. Back up. Back up. Hey, back up. Go. Good job. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about, oh, and I forgot to say, I'm sorry. Right here, what we'll do is we'll chop this down. You can see all those suckers. My husband's gonna go ahead and drill into these and put a stump killer in there. Look at this. Look at how destroyed these are by borers. I mean, there's just borer holes everywhere. And so I give up. I just can't look at this one more season. So what I'm gonna do, we'll chop this down. We may even do it this weekend. And then right next to it, I'm gonna put in another purple smoke bush, like the one on this side. So basically, those will be flanking either side when you walk in, which right now it's kind of cool because look at how far over this is kind of leaning. It'd be kind of neat if they were touching, creating another arch. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is this beautiful trellis. This trellis was one of, I believe, 5 trellises that I got for my 10-year anniversary. They were not cheap. It cost quite a bit of money. But that's what I wanted. I didn't want a fancy trip. I didn't want a fancy ring. I wanted something that, as I told my husband, these will be going to the nursing home with us. Or the retirement home. I don't think you can take it to a nursing home. But anyway, this was put here when I had other plans, and I don't really like it here. I don't like it this close to this white and more organic looking, you know, trellis that my husband built. And then also this trellis right here is going to get painted white to match this. So I don't love this being here, and although it kind of blends in and eventually will be covered up by this beautiful coral bark maple, Japanese maple, I don't want it to be covered up. I want it somewhere beautiful. So this is going to get moved eventually somewhere where we can really see it and get better, you know, really get better use out of it. So that's one thing that's going to change next season. All right, now let's go this way. I'm really pleased with how much growth I got on this Japanese maple this year. So pretty. This one is just a standard blood good. Oh, this area is still looking so pretty. I'm so sad to have to rip it out. It's gonna be so sad. So my stepson, I think, is gonna come and help me this weekend, take all my coleus into the garage. And then what I do is I kind of leave them in there for a little bit, hoping maybe the bugs will get bored and come off the plant. And then that also gives me time to kind of look at them and check them over and make sure I'm not bringing a ton of bugs into the house. So back here, so we will be setting these stones that I got from my mom's garden next year into the new mulch. So that's going to be pretty. And my stepson always says, because I did have a path there, it kind of has gotten covered up, but especially towards the back. My stepson says, why do you have a walkway to nowhere? So I think next year we're also going to work on that. I want to get a white wooden bench to sit back there so that it looks like we have a purpose. And then if you can see those really beautiful rocks that are stacked next to that green electrical box, I want to try to do some kind of waterfall feature myself. Just something really small, not sure where, but I would love to use those for that. So that's kind of the game plan over here. Another thing I want to do next season is I just feel like this area right here, and then a lot of that area under the maple over there is just very one note. I love the hostas. I know I have some hostas that are starting to give me some height. But I just think that I need more. And so I think what I'm gonna do in here is I think I'm going to be adding some ferns kind of popping in and out of these hostas. Now granted, we're at the end of the season. The hostas are looking worn for sure. So this is not the best picture, but I do think I just want to start adding in some ferns to kind of give me some height in there and some different texture. And my poor little hydrangea that I planted a couple weeks ago is not very happy. I'm going to trim off all those blooms so it's not trying to support the blooms. I haven't watered yet this morning. It will be fine. I'm sure it will be fine, but I am so pleased with how beautiful this thing is. And again, I got this from the tree center. All right, so another thing, you know, I talked about bringing out or making sure I finish these rocks. These rocks are kind of all over the place because of the fact that when the hose moves around, it knocks into them. And also my stepson, you know, when he kind of trims, he moves them and doesn't always get them back in place. So next year I'm going to be moving them out farther, which will give me more space to plant in. And then also once they get kind of really set in some dirt, I think they will stay in place a heck of a lot better. Okay, so now I have a thought for you, and I want your opinion of what you think, okay? So right in front of me, where you see that purpley bloom, is a rose of Sharon. Then off to the left, right here, where that blue pot is, right next to the right of it, is another purple smoke bush. And over there is another one to the left of the pot. So I got two smoke bushes that are, and they're right now, like if I hold it like this, that puts it at basically the smoke bush are right on either side of the frame, and the Rose of Sharon is in the middle. I'm considering putting in two more arborvitae. And since I'm going to have more planting space by bringing the rocks in, do you think that would be too much? I mean, you can see the spacing, and those smoke bushes and the Rose of Sharon is going to be pretty big, but I wonder if I have room to put two like arborvitae right in the middle. I think that would look so pretty to give me some more interest out here for the winter. And I just think having, you know, kind of repeating what I've done in other spaces, I think would be very cool. So I'm really just on an evergreen and hydrangea kick, if you haven't noticed. All right, let me check my paper here. So now we're gonna go over here. Okay, so this bench, which I got off of Facebook Marketplace a couple weeks ago, I'm loving it, but I also decided that I'm going to paint this white. Reason being, I love it black, but I feel like it just kind of disappears, and I think white would really jump out at you and also kind of continue my theme in the garden. You know, I have a lot of old things that are painted white, so I think that that would look really pretty and show up very nicely. Okay, so now we're gonna go over here. And as I explained last time, I got all of those stepping stones from my mom, from her garden, and those are gonna be installed also next fall, which I think is really just gonna add so much to this area to make it be full. I mean, before it was just, like I said, it's like the ones up front stayed open, but all the other ones got buried. So I'm gonna have to get that figured out. So now here's a big project, or maybe a big project, if my husband will let me. So we have 2 sheds. Not really happy about that. I feel like we have way too much stuff. And my husband is, you know, one of those people that is of like mind that someday I may need it. And I get that, but 2 sheds, especially 2 sheds that look like this, it's just not great back here. So, couple ideas. So we have to move the shed because we're getting the deck painted, and we're actually moving the shed this weekend. So while the shed is out and empty, I'm thinking about moving things to the basement into storage and then not putting this shed back. And if we do that, couple thoughts. And again, this is only if I can convince my husband. Now, here's the thing. Don't feel sorry for him because he has a huge golf issue. So I have golf clubs in every single room practically. So, you know, we both have our issues and we have to support each other's issues, right? So if this comes out, I really could see a beautiful glass greenhouse right in there. I would love to have a greenhouse. Now, I want to do one from all of my old wooden windows. And he said if I could find him a plan, he would help me, and that's something we like doing, stuff like that together. So that's a thought, or I could just, you know, save my money and buy one. But if I got a greenhouse here, one, I think this would just be so pretty. Now, if I decided I'm not going to spend the money or whatever, the other thought I was having was, and again, he'll like the greenhouse idea better than this one. The thought I'm having is, yeah, he's not gonna like this. Taking the rocks that are right here and basically coming off there and going like this, and going back to the patio. So it would go here, around a little corner, go like that, and come back to here. Now, what we would have to do, obviously, and put in a pathway, which actually would be better because those rocks right now are moved because he couldn't get the door open. So that would actually be better because the rocks would then not be in the way. We would put a nice, we could put a brick pathway to the shed. And then all of this, including where this is, would all become planting bed. But again, he's so concerned that, you know, we've always wanted to move and, you know, have a bigger space for me to garden, a better garage for him to do woodworking in. We also would like to live near a golf course so he could go golfing. So he's just afraid that if I get rid of all this grass, which honestly, this grass is looking so bad, combination, not much water, big dog, and humongous maple. So, you know, we're not missing a lot in my opinion, but he's very concerned, and I get it, about people, because when I had my garden before I tried to sell my house, I could not sell my house. You know, people were just like, oh, it's too much. I don't want to have to mess with that. So I get it. He feels like we need to have as much grass as possible. But this, to me, this area right here is honestly just an eyesore. So I'll talk to him and see what he thinks, and we will go from there. All right, let's see if I'm almost done here. So let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. I'm so pleased with my newly painted table and chairs. I can't even tell you. I'm so pleased with that. I mean, I spent probably, I don't know, 4 hours, and it just looks like it's brand new. And this table, you guys, I actually, when I worked at a garden center, I was the one who picked out all the furniture that we sold, and this one went on like a discount because nobody bought it. And so this is like a really expensive table. Didn't really hold up that well, to be honest, but so I'm really glad that I was able to save this and not just get rid of it. All right, so we're gonna go over here. So here's my idea, and I've been kind of thinking about this for a while. This is just, as I told you before, I just kind of call it my messy garden. Look how those petunias are growing up at. Is that not amazing? I grew those from seed. And you know the other amazing thing is this zinnia right here. That's one plant. Yeah. And it's one plant that fell over, and it would have been like a 4-foot plant, but it fell over, created all this, and I am just loving that. And look at this amazing coleus. I'm so taking that one in. All right, so sorry, got sidetracked by the beauty. Okay, so this is a fountain basin. I've never really loved this garden, but I do kind of like it just to have it for the purpose of putting, you know, cut flowers in it. But I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is, you can't even see the basin. Let me show it to you. If I can find it. Oh gosh, I can't even see it. Well, it's in there. It's like right all the way in there. So this basin matches this, obviously. And I think what I wanna do is put boxwoods around it. Right now I have 4 just yellow Stella Diora daylilies. I think I'm gonna take those out. Daylilies don't really excite me much. I think I'm gonna take those out, and I think I'm gonna put boxwoods all the way around the fountain. I think that would be so cool. And then I would also have some more evergreen, and then I just put in, you know, that hydrangea right there, which I think that's the Vanilla Sunday one. I just put that up under my smoke bush. So that's gonna fill up, cover up that fence, be full of beautiful pink and white blooms. And then, can you just imagine this surrounded by boxwoods? It'll still have plantings, but I'll plant something that doesn't spread so much so that you can, you know, see the boxwoods, that it doesn't cover them up. I think that would be really pretty. So you have to give me your opinion on that. All right, so let's see, what else? Oh yeah, right here. Look at this beautiful fall moment, you guys. Could I have planned that any better? I didn't plan it, that's the funny part. So basically, this area right here was meant to have a fountain, and we had already bought the fountain, and the fountain was another one of my anniversary presents, which was 4 years ago, I think I'm now on, that I never got my fountain, because just for whatever reason. So I'm still, you know, getting this fountain. Well, the fountain will go there, so I will be getting a new fountain next spring, and that's where that's going to go, and I think that's going to be a really nice addition. But I love these two beauties together. My goodness. All right, so I'm doing a video right now, okay? My cute little neighbor. All right, so we're gonna come back over here. The kids next door are just adorable. All right, so we're gonna go this way this time. Okay, now you see this Gothic arch, which yes, I know is leaning. We still haven't got it staked up right. But I drug this home in pieces on my shoulders from down the street in the neighborhood. And this is just like one of my prized possessions. I love the fact that I didn't pay for it and that I got this here by myself. And so anyway, let's go through the gate and let me show you what I want to do. Oh, I finally cleaned out my veggie beds, except for I still have dill and I still have some purple basil in there. I gotta ask you guys a question while I'm here. You see this rose? This is an Eden climber. So you know we're a 6A, but we just became a 6A. See how far that got up? So I've had this in the ground 2 years. I get literally 5 blooms in the spring, and that's it. And it just, I mean, it grows like crazy, but then over the winter, it dies all the way back. And I end up starting all the way down there again. So if you have any ideas what I am doing wrong with this rose, help me out, let me know, because it's just not performing. I don't know what to do with it. All right, so we're gonna go back this way. So one thing real quick is these trellises that I have behind my grow bed, I'm gonna keep putting the fall blooming clematis down in there and just spread that on these trellises, and I think that's gonna look really neat. All right, so here's my peppers, my basil. Look at my peppers. I'm gonna have to take them off today because they're gonna end up going kaput this weekend. All right, so now, let's see, let me look at my, look back this way. I love that arch. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy another arch that's gonna go right here. So you'll be able to see, when you stand back here, you'll be able to see the arch right here, bringing you into this part of the garden and taking you to the back. Now I'm also thinking about, would it be neat too, if I could figure out how to do it so they're not in the way, if I had an arch right here, wouldn't it be really neat to string like patio lights to it? Oh, I think that would be so pretty. Okay, so let me check my list. We're almost done. Let's see, let's go right here. So this is, I believe, I can't remember the common name, but I believe this is a ligustrum. And my stepson tried to dig this out for us. This was here when I got here. Tried to dig, or not dig it out, but tried to kill it once, cut it all the way back, and it has just flourished. So now, this is another thing that really is taking up a lot of space that doesn't really do me any favors. So I'm thinking I might ask him, if he loves digging, he just loves digging, if he wants to try to dig this baby out, and I could put in a really beautiful hydrangea right here, so we would have color when we walked around the corner to see this. So I think that would be really nice. All right, let's go this way. So this bed, as you can see, still needs some more rock around it. We have moved these rocks out 3 times, so you can kind of see where the edge of the bed was compared to where it is now. And again, we'll have to get these kind of more set up in dirt so that they quit moving when he mows and does the weed whacking. So basically this bed is gonna really give me more space, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that I put in some more perennials to really fill this up. This could be a really pretty bed. I am loving, and I don't know, I'm sorry, if I find the tag I'll tell you, but I am just loving this coral bell. It has really just gone to town, and sometimes, you know, you buy them and they look so great and pretty, and then the next thing you know, they're a totally different color. So I love it that the new foliage is coming out the same color that I bought it as. All right, so let's go this way. So the hoses are a mess because we had these sprinklers out, had them perfectly placed, and we've done it a few different times, and what ends up happening is my stepson removes them when he mows, so we have to get it set up to where they're not gonna be in his way. Okay, so now up here, I want to show you this. I love how just so pretty and fallish. Fall just seems so cozy to me. I love that. So let's maybe get a better shot of that. Look at this, I bought this beautiful aster to go where that coleus is right there. I think that's gonna be so pretty next year. But anyway, see that trellis right there? That is my mom's trellis. I really love it. It makes me happy. I want to put it right here. So it would go right up here, right up under this light, and it would be so pretty in the winter when there's nothing on it, and then this will be on it next year, and I won't have to worry about having to try to tie my clematis up to the light. So that's where that's going to go. Now that then will leave this side kind of empty and kind of bare, and so this side is going to have some of that autumn clematis on it also, and it will just cover up that trellis, and then you won't be able to see it. All right, so now going back this way. Ooh, I gotta show you something so cool. See this box? I found this while I was walking my dog. Can you not picture having like 4 or 5 little terracotta pots in there with some plants? Doesn't that look so cute? What a good find. All right, so now one thing I'm thinking also is, I mentioned this in another video, and I actually told my husband, and hello. I mentioned this. Look at that view. Oh, that's beautiful. I mentioned this in another video, but don't you think that if I brought the rocks right along the sidewalk, it would kind of make the sidewalk disappear and look like you just see another bed? My husband not thrilled on it, but I think once he saw it, I think he would like it. All right, guys. Final things I got to thinking about back in here would also be another really pretty place right there for a hydrangea. Not a big one, but just another one where I could have some color, because there's really nothing in there right now. Have some color. I think that would be really pretty. And also kind of, I don't know, maybe I don't want this to block off this part of the patio, but it would also add a little surprise that when you came up to the door, you wouldn't really be able to see all of that, and you would see this as you came around the corner. All right, you guys, I think that's it. I want to just give you last little, look at this. This is what the stupid squirrel does. And now I know I keep complaining and I'm not doing anything about it, but I'm taking these in today, so it doesn't really matter. And then what I do is I just stick those in water and get more plants. But still, it's so frustrating. Anyway, I want to leave you with some fall coziness. And look, they ate all of my corn, my Indian corn. All right, let's back up. Give you the long shot. I really like how those planters are too. Keep backing up here. All right, guys, thanks for being here. It means a lot to me. I really enjoy doing this, and I love hearing from you. I love your comments. All right, I will see you in the next one. Bye. And the next one will be fall cleanup. It will be sad. Bye-bye.